Yes, hello everyone, and welcome back to Sunless Skies with Zin and Stukka. Stukka isn't currently here, he should be along a bit later, but we shall see, I guess. Well, without any ado, rather, we shall get straight back into the game. I have no goddamn clue where I was last time we left off. I'm pretty sure I was trapped in London, so if I do have to take a bit of a hit at the beginning of the game, we will see. Such as it is, though. I have no engine. 3 fuel, 3 supplies, 13 out of 17 cargo space, 11 out of 14 men. Good low terror though, so we can't argue with that. Ambition is wealth. I need 5,000 sovereigns. I only have 3,000 at the moment, that's not bad. What I need to do is get back to the good old Reach. Do have some things we can trade. We only have one thingy. Yes, we certainly do need more orphans for the engines. I suppose what we can do is sell off all of this junk. I don't really have much need for it. That'll get us 450. We do have a bit of everything at the moment, but we'll see what we can do. Steam and Sapphire Yards. How much does that cost? 219 sovereigns, very good. The Steam and Sapphire engineers are brisk and no-nonsense. Just give the word and the payment, and they'll set about your battered engine like bees on lavender. I need an affiliation villainy. I only have one at the moment. I need 2 savage secrets to investigate the organization myself. We're quite underpowered at the moment. We do have an okay engine. A Bedivere class escort. Well, now options must be to get to again. It's not much of a run. We'll get out of here and get to it. A glorious dreadnought. You want nothing to do with me, fine sirs. Nothing at all. It has been quite a time, an enduring dreadnought. HML Possibility. Zinthar number 10 we were. Ah, I see. The 10th Zinthar of the line. Something shiny. Some corpses, perhaps. I hope everyone's time over Christmas and the New Year was good. I myself spent a lot of it traveling, as I am wont to do. Spending too much time with family. It's generally how you spend Christmas, so that you don't have to worry about not seeing them for a while. Eating too much food, prawns and other things. Just in generally gallivanting around the country. The Reach Transit Relay. God dang it. I keep wanting to press R and hit E anything instead. No, Tio, no bar fights. Unfortunately. Alright, we've cleaned through customs. 200 sovereigns. Here we are. Now we're back in Port Prosper and the general good stuff. Here we will make our fortune. Ah, we can recruit some people immediately. Yep, very good. Incautious driver. And the incognito princess. That's fine. We'll offer transport to some settlers. Explorers, adventurers, and pioneers gather here freshly arrived from Albion, all awaiting transport to the furthers into the Reach. Would-be pioneers clamor at the station, eager to make their fortunes amongst the stars. Leadbeater and Stainrod Nature Reserve. I'd love to see the wilderness from a safe distance, of course. You wipe your hand on your trousers after shaking his disquietingly sweaty hand. This is it, isn't it? Leaving the safety of Port Prosper, really going out into the world. Here we go then, eh? Indeed. Welcome aboard, sir. And may God have mercy upon you. Nope, don't think there's anything we really need to worry about here. Ooh, some barrels of ours. We'll totally take those. They sell quite well everywhere. Buy some more fuel and the like. think our first stop should be Palmyra and Plenty's, Port Avon, and then Leadbeater and Stainrods. I gotta get back into the feel of this game, to be honest. I've gone quite rusty with the combat mechanics. It will be some time before I'm able to get back to New Winchester and upgrade the locomotive properly. But nevertheless, onward we go. I would also like to get back into Armored Core, play that for you guys again, but I must admit I did cheat. I'm up to New Game Plus Plus now, so we can go through that playthrough, I guess. Spend some time there grinding that out. Getting the next storyline. Or I suppose I could just start all over again. It's not like I got very far with the streams I was doing of it. And it's actually a great game. I love it so much. Loot the hold. We'll take some delicious things. Something precious has been concealed. A twinkle of gold upon a bed of velvet, a piece of worn jewellery. A name is inscribed on it, too faded now to read. It's worth 20 sovereigns. Shame. That was almost sad. Wasn't so pathetic. Some more cargo. What have we got? Another jewellery box. 14 sovereigns. Not as nice as the last piece, apparently. Yes, I must admit, it's been a struggle for me recently. I had issues with the computer, I had issues with everything else. I had issues with my health, I had a lot of issues just compounding all at once. Issues with work. I'm sorry that I didn't get a chance to spend more time with everyone, to be honest. Yes, much unfuck. But I am back. That is all that matters. No discontent. Brandy for all. Oh, well. I need 2 sky stories. Perhaps not right now. New arrivals at the circus. That's a hard challenge. We can try. Nope. You try your best and the newcomers all start listening politely. As you talk, however, their eyes inevitably drift back to the obelisk. Soon they are not listening at all. write a port report for them. We'll do some tickets to the circus. Let's reduce our terror a little bit. In amusements. Drop some terror. Go to the big top. We did get a Sky story. No one in the meager audience displays any enthusiasm, not even when the ringmaster thunders in on a horse-drawn calliope. Then come the acts themselves. Oh dear. The humiliated magician's trapdoor fails to open, leaving his glamorous assistant notably unvanished. The bereaved acrobat swings from a single trapeze, the other hangs lonely and unused. The pensive clown's fire-juggling act ends in disaster, and not to the humorous kind. The less said about the lion tamer, the better. He should recover. Well, that's good. We'll have to rebuild our reputation with them. Oh, a selection of immaculate souls for 215 each. We can leave them and come back if we get a bargain for them. Yes, I think so. Now off to Port Avon. Just test firing the gun, making sure it works. The sky here is scarred by old batters. Wreckage crusts it like scabs. Lights in the distance, a stoker begins to sing a ballad about the chimneys of New Winchester. Not quite yet. Ooh, gold. Something shiny, you say? Unfortunate for you. Gain hull or find a sky story or a tale of terror. Ooh, a success. Gained 1 sky story and 47 sovereigns. Well, they didn't mention the money. That night, your sleep is peppered with uncomfortable dreams. You dream of a storm whose lightning scratches words across the sky, and whose thunder is a cacophony of voices belonging to people you have known. Its winds pluck pitifully at your clothes. You are wearing black, somber, funeral black. You wake. Ah, Tamu! Thank you so much for resubbing. Good to see you again, by the way. We'll try. Nope, failure. That's fine. No like, Storm. Back to the undersea with you. We'll take a spot of tea at the Port Avon. Always a pleasure to see you, Atamu. Behold, a ruin of giants, gargantuan blocks jigsaw together, furred with moss and whispering with orchards. A bucolic village nestles amongst them. Smoke coils distantly from the chimneys. A leisurely game of cricket unfolds on the village green. A ramshackle dock juts into the sky beside a farmyard, scattered with rusty locomotive parts, plating, piping, a chugging motor with its innards exposed. We now have 3, welcome. Right, a port report. A repentant devil is looking for passage, you say? No, let's hire him. I need crew. Perfect. It is a quiet day in Port Avon. A pleasant breeze wafts through the village, making even its pricklier residents relax their guard and welcome guests. Only a little, but enough that even a visiting stranger can enjoy the bonhomie. It's cheap. See what their bazaar is offering. Sacks of verdant seeds. I don't think we need that right now. The auroral sommelier. Someone has grafted brass wheels to a carcass of an old armoire and impaled its top with jaunty damask umbrella. Sweet wines, sour wines, subtle wines, and sinful. Spirits of every vintage, save of course Hesperidian cider. He gives a small sad laugh. I know, because I looked and this is the only place with real apples, but even here that cider eludes me. He beckons you with a gloved hand. Hesperidian cider. Come here, come close and listen. You effervescent thing. I have a story. An associate of mine, he once gave me a sip of it, one golden drop, to place under my tongue, and my life was changed. A carnivorous pleasure steeps into his voice as he speaks. I went back to the store immediately, of course, but the price was too much. And then eventually the dreams drained away, and now I'm here, serving wine to drunks. His laughter is black and bitter, but the auroral sommelier gives you the address, nevertheless, just in case. If you decide to risk the same grief, savor it for me. We can go to the Nowhere Inn. Ah, the Rat Brigade as a chief engineer. The smallest, most scarred rat is called Cinders. She introduces her companion. This, she indicates a rat wearing goggles, is my second. Petronella, our mechanic. She gestures towards a rat with glossy fur. And this is our agent provocateur, Albrecht. The rat inclines his head. We need a locomotive. These battle-hardened rats are all that remain of the Rat Regiment, a mercenary company active in the early days of the Winchester War. Used to be a dozen of us. The best sappers around, says Cinder. Now look at us, her whiskers twitch. Time for that later. We'll pay, sir. Good. He perches on a stool in the corner, staring at a map of the Reach. Must have taken a wrong connection at New Winchester. The tiny figure, weighed down by two backpacks and a heavy duffel coat, looks through thick glasses at her map, then up at you. Excuse me, I need passage. I don't suppose you could help me. I'm on the trail of unusual beasts. I can pay for your time. Where does she need to go? Traitor's Wood. She beams. She leans in conspiratorially. As it turns out, to the wrong person. They say there's all sorts living in that place. Oh, sorry. She turns to you. There are all sorts living in that place, possibly even an ape man. Won't it be fun to find out? She's the reason why people think Bigfoot is real. I'm going to take a blurry picture of the aliens. The stout veteran gives you a polite once-over. I suppose we could countenance an application, of course. Membership is not a matter of mere money, no. He directs your attention to the trophies. Most are old and musty. Neath creatures, deer, foxes, and a bear, all hunted in the members' now long-distant youth. Perhaps you could help decorate our walls with some impressive local fauna. We could talk matters of first payment, then membership, of course. We would hunt all the beasties ourselves, and we will, by thunder we will, but the fire is so warm, and there is port left in the bottle. Cantankerous, chorister, and a scribe spinster. Only thing that's a threat there is the scribe spinster. I suppose we'll play a round of cricket, perhaps. There we go, lose some more terror. Oh, we have a little bit more welcome. We might try some cider. 48% chance. Oh, thank goodness. 2 sovereigns for some delicious cider. The taste is so sweet, so appley, so heart-twangingly, breath-catchingly nostalgic, that it would be easy to miss the kick. What a dangerous little beverage. You drink judiciously, and only yourself one more mug. Every sip reminds you of a world that is lost, somewhere at the far end of the universe. Yes, there is no old Earth now. Very good, but I must be on my way. Now, off to the Leadbeater and Stainrod's Nature Reserve. To gather more port reports and more quests. The newly acquired repentant devil is standing most unrepentantly over a body in the hallway. Inspect the deceased, you don't recognize him. One of your crew, but the deceased is no one you know, a stranger on your locomotive. Peculiar baggage you have brought on board, says one of the crew when some others have gathered. Wouldn't have thought it would fit in your little bag. First clean up, it won't do to leave the body in the hall. Then your repentant devil can explain himself. He's still got the blood on his cuffs. He was a stowaway, explains the devil indifferently. He's been stalking me for more than a month. I thought I'd lost him when I came aboard, and then he turned up in my quarters. From the body he has lifted a clinking bag of souls. Perhaps he was sent to bribe me rather than to kill me. He tilts his head to consider the soul collection. Apparently he thinks I'm a cheap hire, if so. The devil gaze reverts to you. I regret to say this is probably not the last time this happens. I may be destined to attract negative attention. Oh, no skin off my ass. We might even be able to find a bit of honey up this way. Ooh, honey! Gib the honey. No bees. Getting lucky. And a downed locomotive. The manatee. Oh no, not the manatee. She's the strangest ship that ever did fly. Yep, failure. The signaller fetches their signal lamp and flashes a patient message into each portside window. You watch and wait. There, hands banging on the glass. From within, a wild-eyed face. You dispatch a boarding party. They retrieve a survivor who is eager to sign on. She proves to be a hard worker, however her reckless laughter and her stories of the horrid, haunting things she saw from her frosty window do not improve morale. Good morning, Maze. Good to see you again. Something. I used to know how that went by heart, but I've seemed to have forgotten. The settler emerges from his cabin, his suitcase clutched in his hands. I've had time to think, and I have to admit it. I can't do it. I don't want to go, but it's so warm here, and everyone's been so kind. Might I stay on, or at least take me back to Port Prosper? His smile is brittle. I've got space. I can sign him on. To the ablative human armor. I do need more people to hang over the top. Ooh. We could join a hunting party. Actually, we'll just explore it on our own and reduce some terror. Lovely. Shall gather the port report. This concrete bay is for loading and unloading locomotives. It disappoints tourists who expect to arrive at a scenic waterside. It mainly caters for the workers of Leadbeater and Stainrod Company who come to collect goods from the laboratories here. Cable cars link to the main reserve below and the scientific base at Capabilities Inquest. Fellow captains, what have you been doing? For a few, it's the work provided by Leadbeater and Stainrod. For the rest, the reason is the same. They're drawn by the beauty of the reserve. Some are here with tourists from across the Empire. Others are here to give their crews a respite. Others were simply passing by and couldn't resist stopping in. Sorry, the man apologizes. I didn't mean to stare. It's just we've been waiting for a delivery from London. Really important supplies. I don't suppose you might be heading anywhere near the relay to Albion, would you? If you could check if anything's happened to it, we'd really appreciate it. That's easy enough. Let's have a look at Capabilities Inquest. We want to study the powerful forces of nature at work in the Reach, so that we may improve life of all citizens of the Empire. If you are intrepid sort and willing to aid our earnest efforts, we are offering a reward for the following. I see you're interested. The phlegmatic researcher has wheeled up behind you. His left leg is raised, perhaps to reduce the very obvious swelling. The keys to understanding the remarkable principles of growth and cultivation are waiting here. We just need suitable specimens. If you aid our research, we'll ensure you're properly remunerated. I'm glad that I can provide a nice voice to listen to while you work, Maze. The researchers of the reserve have a number of laboratories scattered among the tourists' cabins. From here they study the mysteries of the Reach. The phlegmatic researcher is studying the mysteries of the Reach. What can you bring him? Charista bee, ants, hybris pus. Get all of that easily enough. The only person available to help you is the romantic ornithologist. He is lean and plainly dressed, with a long, wiry beard. The other researchers introduce you. Did you know our colleague here, one indicates the ornithologist, is looking for the mythical bird who pecks away at the mountain of eternity? They stifle giggles. The ornithologist maintains his smile and gestures towards the forest path. I'll be glad to show you the reserve. I hope you'll join me later. You can often find me at the watchtower. Two sky stories, lovely. Jumble of undistinguished souls. A spirifier, spirifer is an unlicensed dealer in souls. This one has perpetual sniffle. He finds a quiet corner to show you a sample of grubby bottles. Wispy shapes coil inside. See, he sniffs. Fine as porcelain, I swears. Every one of 'em was a teetotal of church going. I'll bet they are. I'll just pick up some fuel then, sir, and be on my way if it's all the same to you. We could go to Old Tom's Well, but I think Titania and Carillon, possibly to Magdalen's, would be a better idea. Do the full route of the Reach today. Pick up a good number of pork reports. Well, I need a pristine pair of wings. Yoink. The Williams wield. Oh, I did forget to mention that my headset died, and this is a new headset, so hopefully it sounds a bit better, or at least clear. Chorister Corpse Trophy, thank you. Ooh, a Pussian. It's in such a convenient spot I couldn't help but kill it. Precious stones, please. 75 sovereigns. Quite nice. I'm glad that it's good. We'll just gain the experience. It's 100% of success, and 150 is not bad. Oh, dragon tail leather. It is always tricky. You can reduce the difficulty a little bit so that it bends towards your enemy, but it's still hard. Which I think is intentional, so you have to get better and stronger weapons. Floating corpses of chorister bees bump against the side of the engine as you pull into port. A fight must have taken place here not too long ago. They say visitors can request a boon from the buildings here, an intriguing offer. Write a port report, of course. The port unfolds itself, welcoming you ashore. Titania has become a little slice of civilization in the Reach. Within its domes, visitors can enjoy a taste of Albion, without all the smoke and smog and urchins spoiling the view. The Midnight Rose, who trade in red money, have their base here. The gloomy middleman wants you to find out why honey supply has dried up. Somewhere in the midst of garrets and galleries of Titania hide the Midnight Rose. They make red honey and old London vice. The manner of its creation is secret, but it's rumored to require a breed of rose first grown in hell, bees and memories harvested from caged subjects. Imbibing red honey allows you to live those memories, to ransack the contents of another's heart. Oh, honey made me the woman I am today, she says, with a secretive smile. I'd be happy to help. She strides from salon to salon, letting a crowd of adoring poets, artists, and addicts flock to her. Within an hour, she has secured you an introduction. A precarious descent of ladders leads down to the hideout of the Midnight Rose, a spiral of rickety platforms clinging to the great orchid stalk. There the Rose have constructed an edifice of glass, something between an orangery and a cowshed. It hums with bees and shivers with sobbing. The Midnight Rose are a close-knit coterie that produces precise vintages of red honey. If you want to taste the bleak memories of an orphan or the excesses of a reckless libertine, they are able to provide. Their leader is an ethereal apiarist, whose laced gowns are stained at the hem with grass and soil. Bees crawl lazily in her wild hair. Some actual sky dreadnoughts. Well, I mean, you can get some very good locomotives, nothing of a dreadnought class, but they are very powerful, especially if you go. I can't remember the name of it. It's Eleutheria, that's it. Eleutheria has the most powerful dreadnought, arguably. Ask why the export of honey to London has slowed. The apiarist sighs. The revenue men, she says darkly. They've appointed a new captain to patrol the skies nearby. He used to be one of the gentlemen, the smugglers who operate out of Pan, and he knows a lot of the tricks. Inconvenient. You'll need to find a way to circumvent his canny captain. Hmm. You and the apiarist spend a coffee-fueled night combing your chart, plotting new hidden routes for their courier to use. The way will be dangerous, and you have to favor circuitous little-used path plagued by the candle wind, but a dreadnought would never be able to traverse them. The ethereal apiarist is pleased. The gloomy middleman probably won't be, but he might be slightly less miserable. You'd better deliver the good news to him. Oh, good. I resolved that quest quite easily. How many of those do I have? 4. I have a moment of inspiration, but I'll hold on to those because they're very rare. Selling, buying. I suppose I shall attend an art exhibition. You spend several pleasant hours surrounded by art, much of it painted with pigments sourced from the Reach's unique flora and inspired by the Chorister bees. Once the visitors have moved away, however, they immediately launch into lengthy diatribes on the many ways they could have done better. I got a craving. Oh, okay. Have you played Rebel Outlaw? Because that's a game like that, but it's in space. At least I think that's the name of it. Again, terrible memory, but it was a space game with broadsides. You could always pick up Eve Online as well, if you like Mind Rot. Rebel Galaxy, that's the name of it. Remembered it at the end there. Rebel Galaxy Outlaw is the sequel, which is a prequel, which is only on Epic and is not good. But I do recommend Rebel Galaxy. That's very nice. Yes, you have been to the dark side. I do not recommend it. Especially not these days. I remember it used to be a lot better than it is now. A spectacular place, isn't it? We couldn't believe that nobody else had colonized it after. Well, whoever built all the crystal domes and spires, honestly. I couldn't believe our luck. Then the Chorister Hive descended on us. Everything has a price, I suppose. Yeah, go figure. No one wanted to. Oh, Zenmo, thank you. Oh, thank you for the stretch. Oh dear. I, of course, did forget to set the predictions. So that's a good starting point where I believe I will start a prediction. We only have a few things. I do enjoy making these predictions, even if they get a certain amount of goob lost, especially if I bet on them. Let's see. Outcome 1. I'll give you 2 minutes for this one because we're pretty close to finishing it up anyway. So, there we go. Prediction is up. Bid now. Listen on the arguments. The three squabble like artists relentlessly, but with very well chosen words. Advocate for a salon, a place of poetry, conversation, tea and scones, after the stone-faced sculptor. A museum, devoted to what? We'll decide later. The rhapsodic mare waves her hand at this minor detail. Something to impress, to educate, something worthy. Advocate for a scientific enclave. A good friend of mine from Benthic College has been looking for a place where we can conduct their, how do I put this, less conservative experiments, offers the melancholy poet. I think Root's End would be perfect. Remote, not very flammable. Well, I would say a museum. With your support, the suggestion passes. Construction begins. Ooh, we can help choose a theme for the museum. Oh, a great library of Alexandria? Yes. Your rhapsodic mare nods. You read my mind. A place where knowledge can be free to all, to most, she corrects herself. To those who can appreciate it. Yeah. As such a thing is. Shall be on our way, I believe. Bees! Double bees! Experience onwards. Come on, you damn bees. And we got him. Let us gather the foods. Tasty death hymns. As close to the mother of mountains, the sky grows cold. Your crew don coats and gloves. Got some supplies. I am still looking for a cantankery. So hopefully we find one somewhere. The Rat Brigade have clambered up to view Carillion. Sergeant, speak of this place, says Cinders. While the statue is the raw material of nightmares, there is something soothing about the idea that even a beast like this might be harnessed, that there is a chance of such an ally for those who crack the code of offerings and prayer. Whether it is actually listening, it is impossible to tell. The thought that it even might, however, is something to hold on to into the dark. Verdant seeds, not interested, just got supplies. We'll go to Carillon's fire. Port report. You take some notes on a pilgrim's journey through Carillon. The first port of call is the beehive-shaped office in the center, or more accurately, the long queue leading into it. From there, the infernal attendant direct them to one of Carillion's 7 gardens to undergo penances. They certainly look penitent by the time they emerge. Presumably their souls are much improved. Not that you can tell. Indeed. Well, grey stone, the colour of a monastery, attending devils and devilesses dressed in uniform, and incoming parade of the sick, the friendless, the dying, and those who think their lives would be better if only they were something else. This is Carillon, where souls are refined into something more impressive. Speak with the presiding deviless. Presiding Deviless works in an office shaped like a beehive, a stone and wickerwork building that stands all alone in the middle of Carillon's central courtyard. She conducts intake interviews with new patients one by one. After a time in line, you reach her at last. Greetings, sir. How may we stretch, strain, purify, and strengthen you? Now you've come to Carillon. Much stuff. We do whatever is necessary to reclaim unsatisfactory souls, she says. She sits back in her chair. You can imagine her making just such a pitch to the princes of hell. For humans, primarily, though, we do attend to a few other creatures elsewhere on the great chain. They come to us with souls that are stained, disused, in every kind of sordid condition, and we make them acceptable again. Most of those who come to us are volunteers. The rest are beyond the position of being able to volunteer, consigned to Carillon by their families or employers. Yes, I do not like the idea of my employer being able to send me to Carillon. Yes, your soul looks a little bleak, and we're going to send you there, and it's going to cost you your leave time. Don't come back till you look better. Oh, all right. Screw you too, buddy. And away we go. Nope, posture check. Yep, still hunched over. Oh, my back is actually sore. Oh well. It's fine. Let me just do that. Oops, some more crap. Some fuel, very good. No guest engines, please. I do not like the idea of them being guest engines. Let's just go to Magdalen's. We'll lose some terror. See if we can pick up a cantankerous trophy while we're at it. Speak of the devils. There's one. Boink. The Millet Metcalf. It is a terrible name for an engine, sir, and you should feel bad. Yes. The sorest of backs. Yep, I've wandered into a spot where I'm not meant to be. Oh, well, back down we go. Get rid of some of this terror, I think. Almost there. Oh dear. Now we are right out the front of Magdalene. What have we got? 53 sovereigns and a savage secret. So yeah, Junior Signaler receives a dose of medicinal port in the infirmary after seeing a frozen corpse spin past a window. The experience has shaken him. The dead are hungry, he says. We need to make an offering, or it'll come back, a knocking at the hull. It takes some time to locate the corpse, which his spiteful wind has carried deeper into the mist. It is stiff with frost and without visible injuries. The cold in the sky took this poor soul. Brusquely relieve him of any items of value, and swear the crew to secrecy. I don't see why I have to swear them to secrecy. It was just a corpse. Oh no, we found a corpse. Whatever will we do? Well, we loot it and we throw it back out there. Who cares? That's at the keepsake market. Otherworldly artifact for 60. Pay money for it, perhaps not. I can get uncanny specimens quite easily, really. There we go. What do you have to offer? More verdant seeds. Don't really care for them. I do need some fuel, though. Well, we are quite full of good stuff, like fuel and honey. We do have a lot of port reports to turn in. The only thing we don't have is lustrum in the Traitor's Wood, or hybris. Let's return to New Winchester, then. Indeed, such horrors of the sky. Spin round. The cold and flinty part of the sky. Miners dug too deeply here. Did they awaken a beast of shadow and flame? Now, there is one thing I do have to slightly quickly talk about. If anyone ever offers you to install Cube OS, do not do it. It is the biggest piece of junk I've ever heard of. Essentially what Cube OS was is a unhackable system with some air quotes that I can tell you would be titanic. Essentially what it does is every time you want to do something, it spins up an entire virtual machine just to let you do that. And I've never heard of something so stupid in my life. Sure, it's unhackable, it's also unusable. There's always that delicate balance between security and usability. And if you go past the, usability portion, right back around to the security portion, it's worthless. So yes, Cube OS, avoid at all costs. Biggest piece of junk I've ever heard of. Yeah, essentially, Kai. But if you want a secure web browser, I'm sorry, a secure operating system, use TailOS. It's much better. It's actually secure. It can run on a USB and has all the integration you need, and when you're done with it, you can stomp on it and it's gone. It ain't the most user-friendly thing in the world, but it's not terrible. Hello, Victory Hole. Chat to the indurate veteran. Her skin is brown and her hair is beginning to grey. She wears a heavy unbuttoned coat. Metals gleam in the shadows behind its lapels. One half of her face is scarred from frostbite. She is enjoying a quiet cigarillo, while her peers argue in the chamber of assembly. You talk for a while about life in the skies. When a cigarillo is just a stub, she says, "I'd be grateful to hear reports of your travels, sir. I suspect all manner of strife and imprudence is going to kick off in the foreseeable. I mean to be ready for it." 500 sovereignties. We should be trading in some of these port reports to the stovepipes because they offer good stuff. Give me artifacts. Good. Ah, Wolversea Station. What have they got? Seeds for Magdalene. The Woodman Company. Break the Takity's hold on hours mining. They have recruited representatives to purchase hours from unaligned captains. We'll pay 150 sovereigns each for up to 5 barrels of unseasoned hours. Very good. And seeds. Well, that's easy enough. You can sell these munitions, 3 of those. They have 3 barrels of hours, so that's good. Sell off all this, keep the hours. Fuel. What have we got in the bank? 2 caged catches and a ministry approved literature. Now we need to buy a new weapon. Let's grab up our side-by-side comparison here. We have a new engine. Need something with some pouch. Could get another one of these, but I think we only have a large slot. No, no, it's a small armament spot. That is a small armament. Okay. That requires... Well, we could use it. I always enjoyed System Shock. It's a very interesting setting. There we go. Now we have some weapons. We can dole out some punishment. So we need to pick up some seeds, and we need to pick up some hours. Yeah, I don't think I've actually made anything on that one, so whatever. Seeds and hours. Let's get going. Repair the locomotive. 12. Well, we don't need any more crew. We're at 13 of 14 at the moment. So, we need to purchase the Governor's Manor. That should be fair enough and easy enough to do. Two cryptic benefit, one short-sighted cryptozoologist. I'll tell you what, let's plan our next trip. Well, let's do Palmier Plenties, Port Avon, Traders Wood, Leadbeater Stainrod, Titania Carillon Lustrum. Because I need hours. Or alternatively, we could do Lustrum, Carillon, Titania, Leadbeater, and State Rods. Let's try that. Let's go north. We're in good fighting shape now. Could maybe hunt down one of those scribe spinsters for its face to put on a wall. Get some more port reports as well. Frequently, a mysterious outbreak of nostalgia is spreading through your crew. Frequently, they stop work to stare away into misty remembrance. They gather during the evenings to meditate on times gone by, and debate the ways in which the past was superior to the present. The airs are full of sighs. Ooh, that was 10 terror. It's not terrible. Nostalgia has lifted the veils that normally hide their hearts. They speak of things they left behind, the things they regret, and the things they wish they'd done differently. Sometimes they wonder, amidst the mists of the past, they speak of things they should not. One tale of terror and one savage secret. Ah, what I should do is start another prediction and complete the old one. Yes, we did make it home safe and sound to complete that prediction. We'll start a new prediction. Can I complete a full circuit of the reach this time? Hell yeah. Oh, hell nah. We'll have a bit of time with this one, up to 5 minutes for everyone who wants to participate in the poll. Perhaps win yourself some goob and use it to bully other streamers into drinking water, which I always do recommend. And back we go. Some more tackety scouts. You never know when they're going to turn into one of those damn guest engines, though. Quite painful, those things are. Terrible plan, really, Maze. The engine's head like glow like a ghost upon the icy mists. If I get too cocky, I tend to drive at full speed into the enemy. The wreck gleams with frost, its windows are dark, its engines silent. Perhaps something of value lies within. Through the shuttered windscreens. I failed. Boo. Boo, I say. 26 seconds. Yeah, they want to be inside of me, Kai. I don't want them inside. Keep their grabby little hands to themselves, thank you. Sigiled stamp of ruins. You son of a... And I flew right into it. They do very little damage now, though. This engine is fairly heavily armored. To hell with ye, sir. Scribe Spinster Trophy, thank you. That should be all I need for the hunting club to eventually give me some kind of membership. This is where the terror gets bad. It would appear you're stuck in the rocks. We'll just gather it's Sheev's apartment. Your crew lean from the outer hatches with boat hooks and nets swiping at the fluttering pages like a class of friendly lepidopterists. You have soon accumulated a small pile of parchment, dent with pictographic script, carried to your cabin. Secrets mattered. Hold. 250 experience, you say? Got him. See, take a facet, shall we? Five hearts, 3 veils, 1 vision of the heavens. 5 hearts, 3 iron, 1 vision of the heavens. 5 mirrors, 3 iron. 5 veils, 3 hearts. Family footsteps, yes. We'll do a narrow escape. Your engine was nearly destroyed, but you lived to fight another day. I think we'll take hearts and irons, because our hearts is quite low. It's quite good. Now we can approach Lustrum. I think we might have to divert to Magdalen's, but that's okay. Nope. Dragon Tear, thank you. Green water. Charleston Nectar going cheap, you say? That's still a pretty good profit from those. I could go for some Charleston Nectar, but I can get it for free elsewhere. Very easy to get. No, I don't think we will try that yet. Alright, Prospectors Quarter. A busy factory on the outskirts of Lustrum, sprawling shanty town. Here the Tackities are hard at work on their own answer to London's new monitor-class locomotive. Security is high, but the project relies on donations of expertise and resources from sympathetic communities. Trade carefully packed munitions. No, we can blow it up, or we can offer them iron bronzewood. We could also offer them some crew. That'll offer them 10 crew. That's an awful lot of crew to lose. The mountain sings. That drops out terror a little bit. We shall write a port report. So much for the quiet retirement village that used to be here. The rush of prospectors has ripped the civility from the place as efficiently as the geodes from the mountainside. The scars that remain are no less vivid. Fewer and fewer prospectors return with geodes of ours, and the cost of processing them off-site grows every day. Still, for now, Lustrum thrives and offers promise of riches for any lucky or industrious miner willing to come and risk everything in the snow and the mud. The cloaked figure beckons to you. Valuables for sale, it wheezes, his voice throaty and high-pitched. Exchanged for buried time. Yes, please? It offers unusual relics in exchange for a few rusted coins that would barely buy transport to anywhere else. No, I need my hours, thank you. Everything ends, the figure wheezes, even law. For everything a reckoning. Need help, need hours. Postpone reckoning. Shadows with thistle ropes and broken wings. Waiting on riverbank to catch final breath. Everything dies, must outlast. We trade, yes, trade hours. We trade hours now, yes, good quality merchandise. He speaks like a Skaven. Yes, yes, give now. Need money for plots. No make a big boom. How much will that cost? 10 sovereigns. One prospector tells you of finding a geode in the shape of a lion, apparently a mark of great fortune. Another talks of chipping away in silence so as not to startle the hours inside. Another mentions how cold the geodes are. As difficult as it is to work, a layer of thick ice underneath the snow is considered a sign of a good claim. They all agree that mining day must begin with a libation, a cup of moonshine poured to the mountain's good graces. If it rumbles, it is said their offering is accepted. If purple wisps appear above their claim afterwards, this prospector is blessed indeed. Perhaps not. Murgatroyd's Golden Tea Shop, an oasis of London civility and culture in a town with little of either. Melusine Murgatroyd stands proudly behind the display of fresh scones and slightly yellowing cream buns. At a small wooden table, successful prospectors and their significant others welcome themselves to the world of the nouveau riche. With a spot of afternoon tea, pinky figures stand proud and erect from bone china cups, covertly topped with moonshine. She single-handedly runs both the family business and the family business, unless you count the small gaggle of overworked and underpaid maids, which Melusine does not. Smelling faintly of burned hair, she tinkers with the latest invention intended to be her ticket out of both this no-horse town and her father's control. Eyebrows, she confirms, are a small price to pay for scientific progress. Melusine glows with pride as you examine her mostly untested invention. The clockwork lens array that offers superhuman levels of telescopic sight, provided you can insert all 6 sharp brass hooks under your eyelid. The internal combustion privy, ideal for handling unpleasant waste products and warming whatever's left of your house after the inevitable explosion. An automated pickaxe capable of striking the earth 7 times a second. Melusine nods irritably. Pity about the minor bone-shattering issue. The only thing she won't let you poke is a twisted arrangement of glassware and electricity in the corner. That's not mine, not entirely. I'm still working on that. Complicated. You know if you know. If you don't, I shouldn't say. Shall I enjoy a lovely cup of tea? Eleutherian gold. It's like tea with the occasional sparkle. A single sip and you feel slightly dizzy. 2 sips and you struggle to find your legs. The sense of pleasurably disconnected bonhomie lingers for a few hours. Oh, perhaps not. Well, we came what we wanted from here. We haven't gained too much terror. We could go to Magdalen's and Port Prosper. But I think Carillan Titania, Leadbeater, and Stain Rods, and then the Traitor's Woods are probably the better options. Pick up some honey on the way, you know. You might even find some more exotic things out here in the wastes. Excuse me, Scribe Spinster. Yes, I'm afraid I need your face. Ow. Sir, please. Some bronze wood. You'll never hit me like that, boyo. I'll take some more bronze wood, thank you. Ah, dang. 63 sovereigns, though. Your guns did their work too well, and the spinster has been reduced to smithereens. You managed to scavenge a bundle of arm-length razor-edged splinters. Not enough for the train yards, but perhaps enough for replacement chair legs or a handful of snuff boxes for well-to-do Londoners.
Snuff boxes.
Gotta love them snuff boxes. And a good evening, Mr. Stukka.
Good morning, Captain.
How has your day been treating you so far?
Not bad. Not bad. Long night, but it's over. We're here now.
Exactly. At the moment, we're just gathering pork reports and doing the rounds of the Reach.
Bacon papers.
Gotta
Morning,
love
Kai.
Also scavenging whatever crap we find lying around. Ooh, I should go to Carillan first, actually.
Morning, Mace.
Oh dear. I was just recounting all of my adventures over Christmas, which basically involved eating, traveling, and not much else.
Very festive.
Indeed. Oh, now you offer me 5 barrels of unseasoned hours. Oh no, they want to buy them off me. That's right. Good. Here, buy all my hours. Ah, they have the verdant seeds I need as well. Very good. A fair trade.
Everything's coming up, Zen House.
Indubitably. I don't think we'll do much else apart from grab a port report here. Because I don't have any need to get penances yet. Something is amiss. Things are out of place. Unexplained cracker crumbs on the pantry floor. The chief engineer's favorite wrench hung on the wrong hook. Several empty pages torn from the back of your logbook. The crew protest their innocence and contribute their own stories. Vanished shoelaces, doors left open, oily footprints on a door frame. You have a stowaway.
I mean, Skeltar, it wouldn't be an Astro Train's dream if I wasn't either super loud or super quiet.
Oh, you are a bit loud, are you? Let me adjust. Yeah, try that.
Check 1 2. Inherent screaming.
Just knock you down a little bit more. Yeah, that should do it.
There you go. Thanks.
That's probably too much. We'll put you back there. There we go. Done. Well, I don't have the ability to coax out our little friend, so we shall conduct a thorough search. Success. After an hour, an indignant stoker drags a sooty-faced urchin before you. Found her hiding in a supply crate in the hold. She had a right little treasure trove in there. Cutlery from the gallery, Jones's Bible, and my best socks. He brandishes a horrible pair of socks. The stowaway picks her nose defiantly.
These socks only have 2 holes in them.
The locomotive is no place for a child. The urchin wears an oversized skyfarer's coat, clumsily and drastically hemmed at the sleeves and tails. Her eyes are pale, accustomed to starlight. A mottle of old frostbite blemishes one cheek. When she speaks, her voice seems older than the rest of her. What is she, 12, 13? She shrugs. Just catching a ride, she says insolently. I've been catching engines across the Reach and Albion for years. Seen half the sky, I have. Port Prosper to the Silent State. Skyhenge to Carillon.
Catch a ride with a Zentha man.
Unfortunately, I charge. A little bit more than Skeeter does. Well, I could do with a mascot.
Heck yeah.
What? Actually, she salutes you inexpertly. You won't regret it. I can help out like I know my way around an engine, and I'm no stranger to the sky. I know stuff I could teach you. Perhaps another time you tell her. You shake her grubby hand and send her to bed. It's past her bedtime. Very good.
Skyworm urchin. Oh god, it's got worms.
Probably. It's a child. They tend to get that sometimes.
Ah. The armor loops with her.
Indeed. Ah, not my seeds. Ah, well. I've lost one sack of verdant seeds. But I gained some supplies. It's alright, I'm going to go to Leadbeater and Stain Rods anyway. They usually have a good amount of seeds for sale, one way or another.
Man, the skies are weird. Why is it just...
What?
Shipping's hard.
It is. Wonder if I can find any more bees that need exterminating. Speak of the devils. I always fail if I try to get the honey. I do usually just stick with the experience. It's mostly better.
Well, it's consistent.
Exactly.
And Lord knows you need a little bit of bloody consistency in this sky.
Oh, yes. The sky is wide and full of terrors.
And the crew are many. And expendable.
Titania is like a brooch. I want it. Settle down there, Violet.
Don't care how. I want it now.
Exactly. Oopsie. Take the experience. I took quite a bit of damage from overheating the guns then. Rally to Titania's defense. 62% chance. Yes, success.
Yes!
The Charster hive fills the air with stingers and song. The Titanians resist as best they can. Once the hive has collected its nectar and the Titanian's home is ravaged, it leaves again for further parts of the Reach. We did also find the Midnight Rose, where they brew red honey in the skies.
Ooh.
Rose bushes heaped against the glass and climb against in thorny tangles through the greenhouses. Among them are tall cages, each occupied by a prisoner. Bees buzz in and out of their ears and sip from the corners of their eyes. The prisoners cry out and sob and plead. Look closer, the apiarist says. Around each of their necks hangs a key on a chain. They can free themselves at any time, but choose not to. They are artists, you see. They believe they must suffer if they are to one day make great art. Compliment her appalling ingenuity. Ah, I had never thought of torturing people for their own art.
You're a monster. I like that about you.
Her face makes no expression. We are democratizing art, she says loftily. Thanks to our cage garden, a writer need not speculate about the sorrow of a lover as their beloved dies. They can taste our honey and know it themselves. We are no longer subject to the tyranny of experience. Terrible.
Truly experiencing emancipation.
Report. The great library has opened. The great library of Titania is the mostly empty shelves. The original settlers have brought a few books with them. Each new arrival, however, Shelves begin filling with essential texts, including volumes Q to T of the Britannica, and almost complete works of Shakespeare, and a rare copy of the 1631 Wicked Bible containing the infamous misprint, "Thou shalt commit adultery." Ah, yes,
Nice.
Vince number 6 knows all about that.
Uh-huh. Very devout, Zenthar number 6.
Now we can request a boon. That'll get us a cryptic benefactor. Always useful to have. A selection of prohibited books does not go unnoticed by the only other patron in the library's private wing. They quietly sit down across the table from you and slide something to you. A calling card, blank except for a street name in New Winchester, an unspoken nod of recognition from the shadows. Very good. Always need cryptic benefactors.
No, we're up to 3. That's not bad.
Good. We can reduce some terror while we're here. Current port damage is only 10%. Oh, I only need 10 sovereigns to repair all the damage.
Sweet.
Done.
One man, $10, save a city. Not bad.
One, 1,000 sovereigns to get it to the next stage. No, thank you. I don't need to get it to the next stage yet.
Look, if we're going to be paying so much for this brooch, they better give it to us when it's done.
Exactly. Let's see. Bargain Bronzewood. No, I don't think so. I think I'll just stock up on some fuel and supplies and be on my way. I have a mansion to purchase in New Winchester.
Oh, yeah.
I do need to find ants as well, but that can be easily sorted out later.
Ants?
The researcher at Leadbeater and Stainrod would like some ants.
What are they making, a nice bitey soup?
Perhaps.
Ooh.
I do love collecting some honey. And murdering bees. It doesn't look like we found anything else.
Might have cleaned him out in the assault.
Possibly. Speaking of, the ostensibly dead. Yep. Let's see, Captain's Quarter. One otherworldly artifact isn't terrible for one crew member. Plenty more where that came from.
Mm-hmm.
Very well, get rid of them.
Oh.
It's okay, I can buy more. It's a bit of a pain in the ass though, those are on special. Like all on special food, if you don't use them quick enough it goes off.
Yep. I wonder what would actually cause the quickening.
The strange winds of the breach, I would imagine.
They're just so fertile that they cause them to sprout directly through their bags with it, like, no stimulus.
Possibly. I mean, the peacock wind can cause such a thing to happen.
That's true.
I don't need souls. Oh, failure. That's going to go badly for me. Only 2 terror, though. You head into the reserve ready to stalk your prey, only to find it ready and waiting for you. A desperate chase later, you find yourself hiding behind a bush as something sniffs the air, thankfully losing your trail and heading back to its den. Unfortunate. That's right, I need to go to Port Prosper to pick up those previously impounded goods. I do have some of these. What do I have in terms of the research? Tourist B trophy, Cantankerous trophy. Suppose it doesn't tell me what I've already researched. A bird that can grind a mountain down to dust. The scientists waste no time on manners. Surely its beak would wear down faster, unless it's some kind of magic beak, made of something harder than diamond. Is it a magic beak, Captain? A magic harder than diamond beak? Quickly becomes clear why the romantic ornithologist works alone. Currently, I am making a study of the orderliness of the Reach. It may be untamed, but a firm logic has guided its growth. I wish to better understand this principle. See. Okay, so I have a chorister bee. I need the ants and a sample of hybris pus. Very good. So I need to go to hybris first. Okay. I think we just need to pick up some supplies of fuel. And then we can be on our way. We do have a cryptozoologist who would like to delve into the traitor's wood, which means we can go the back routes. Ooh, some crap. What sky garbage do you have for me? Hello, Night Owl. Hey, no. Sir.
Excuse me? Look, pal, I know your buckets are crazy and all.
Surprise, fool.
Get turned on.
Random treasures, please. A distressingly odoured barrel. No one is clean to get close. Yeah, well, you can throw up the engine. We are getting up there in terror as well, so we may have to make this the last stop before we go to Port Avon and then Magdalens to try and reduce our terror and hand off our seeds.
Well, at least we're sitting at no pips.
Exactly. And I do have a moment of inspiration, so if it gets dire, I can always take a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Can explore around here a little bit.
Taking a little more of that haunting beauty.
Clear out some of the black in the map. Oh, a recent homestead to the sky. And we have a colony of ants we can bring on board. Settlers who live so far beyond the edge of civilization relish the hardships of solitude. They will fiercely defend their small territories, but occasionally welcome company and trade. You sit down in a large but roughly built homestead. The owners rush out to greet you, delighted with your timing. They're just about to prepare dinner. Well, I'm here for your ants, thank you.
Give me your sweet, delicious ants. Don't worry about it, Night Owl. You're good.
Mm. It is late and you are alone. Doubts prey on you. Is this the path you should have taken? You trespass upon the precincts of heaven. What price will be exacted of you? What price have you already paid? Well, so far I'm not turning to glass again, so pretty good. What's my chances? 48%? It's pretty much a 50-50. But I do have a lot of terror. Let's just develop a taste for the drink.
Yeah.
Drink enough to bring a period of silent blackness and a reprieve from the things you know. The interlude is ended by a loud knocking. You are late for duty, and someone is at your door. Are you all right, sir? Of course you are, you answer. Of course you are. Visitors!
Oh, they're fighting something, too.
Oh, a London monitor. I don't want to be in your line of fire. Please go ahead and kill that for me.
What does he have, a railgun?
Pretty much. It's a nasty piece of work.
Doesn't look like it tickles. Looks like it's got like an aiming laser.
Yeah. Ow! He hit me with it.
Twice. Cheeky bugger.
Search the wreckage for valuables. 30% chance of success, or repair my hull a little bit. Let's repair some hull.
Yeah. Probably wise.
He's seen better days as well, but that's okay. That's right, they're guests, not visitors. Unwanted guests are still basically terrible visitors, so they can bugger off.
Mm-hmm. This ain't no Monster Friends playthrough.
Exactly. I'm not here to make friends with everyone. This isn't Undertale.
We're not that kind of Zinthar. This Zinthar do work, it doesn't just fuck.
52% chance of success. Or we could crack open the wines. I have plenty of supplies, so I think we'll just do that.
I mean, you had a drink, it's only fair.
Exactly. the Marald wood. I thought it said the Harold wood, and I was remembering Harold from Fallout.
Man, Herbert really let himself go.
Ah, the traitor's wood. Just gonna gently bump it to the side, not crash, just nudge it a little.
Just giving them a little knock, making sure that they know you're coming.
Exactly. The forest rises behind the station, where a few tents have been set up. What might be an owl calls from somewhere in the wood. In the far distant, a great stone barrow rises over the trees. The glade, an oasis of wild flowers and sweet meadow filled in the midst of brooding trees, is where the captains meet to do business and bring their ventures to the woods to the conclusion. Cryptozoologist, let's go look for things. The cryptozoologist grabs your arm. Look there, and indeed, deep in the woods, where little light can penetrate, you see a shape, hunched over, covered with hair. The cryptozoologist digs into her backpack and pulls out a blowgun. Tranquilizer, she explains, fitting an ungainly telescopic sight on top of it. The dart strikes her target. With a howl of protest, it collapses. You follow the cryptozoologist to an unconscious body of a bearded man in a thick coat. Undaunted, she heads into the woods in search of a discovery that won't swear as much upon waking. You leave her before she can mistake you for her quarry.
Oh my goodness.
It's a Bigfoot! No, it's just a dwarf.
But it had a beard and it was big. Look, I'm bigger than that. Are you a Bigfoot? I'm leaving.
This is stupid. Like every Bigfoot hunt ever. Grab our port report.
Oh man, that just makes me think of that like joke Bigfoot hunting movie.
Yeah, I'm in meaning to see that.
That movie is very funny. I like their shark exposition. Oh, have you seen his fucked up teeth? Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, dear.
There's a reason I avoid the Pacific Northwest.
Yes. Stories at the forest's edge. I don't like that. That's probably going to give me terror. I'm a bit too terrorful at the moment. Too terrified to do much. Yes, I think we had best just depart from here. We got 100 sovereigns. We're very close to Port Avon. We should be on our way. We have seeds to deliver.
Lest they bloody sprout just as you get there.
Well, now it's jinxed.
Shit.
You jinxed my seeds. We're gonna have to put them in a special container now.
I'm literally gonna be made to stand there and watch them until we get there. You jinx them, you keep an eye on them. You see any sprouts, you fucking end them now.
Pick them out one by one.
Here are your tweezers, Jinx man.
Ooh, redwood forests. Yeah, they are nice to trek through. If you can find one that isn't currently being logged, that is.
That's kind of lame.
It's the way of it.
Well, you guys only have so many trees.
This is true.
Not like the wilds of Canada where we, like, literally we'd have to fucking clear cut for 7 years just to make a dent.
Tasmania's like that.
Lord knows the fires didn't do sweet fuck all.
Ah, yes. I am intimately acquainted with how fires change a landscape. Cheap repairs. I love it. 25 sovereign for full hull.
Hell yeah. Gotta love a good board engineer.
We shall write our port report of Port Avon. Perhaps appreciate some cricket to drop some terror. And I am no longer welcome. That's a shame. I like to think that I caused a scene at the cricket match by either streaking or throwing things at the batsmen.
Well, I mean, their team missed like 8 pitches in a row. It was the slowest game you'd ever seen.
You call that a bowl? What the hell kind of run is this, you monkey?
I'd like to try cricket. It sounds kind of cool.
It's fine. Good luck, Maze. Drive safe. I assume you're driving. If not, catch the train safely or bus.
Waltz safely.
Do not skip safely, though.
I mean, if you're gonna be skipping, you're already pretty reckless as it is.
Indeed. It hurts my dick.
This is why I need to shut my goddamn mouth.
And I failed. And someone got eaten by the sprouts.
I step away for 2 minutes to take a piss and I have one guy to look.
And he
gets
dies.
eaten. Sheer audacity of the man.
Carelessness. Sheer carelessness. The crew hack away the growth and manage to save most of the seeds, but a signaler cries out. One vine hid venomous thorns. Fiery welts have erupted on his skin. His condition worsens overnight. He is unlikely to recover. Oh well. To the firebox with him.
Yep.
Gonna have to do quite a recruiting drive.
Well, that's alright. I'm sure there's plenty of undesirables that need a place in the world.
Oh, indeed. I hear the orphans are filling orphanages up again. Something I can rectify, I'm sure.
I love a good circus. Lost souls at a bargain's price.
Come, amiable vagabond, join my crew. Can I coax any of these gentlemen away? No. Shall purchase some tickets. Ah. Huzzah, we recruited one likely fellow.
Every Astro locomotive needs a clown. That's why I'm kind of upset you already have me. What are you doing, man?
We have to have a backup clown. You can have one clown, but what about second clown?
That's true. I'm sure the hunk mother would approve.
Of course. The tent is barely any more populated than the last show. The ringmaster does his best, fixing a wide grin under his mustache as he introduces what passes for the acts. The humiliated magician's attempt to saw his assistant in half comes to an unfortunate end. High above, the bereaved acrobat again performs their half of the routine, for a tiny amount of applause. Afterward, the pensive clown trips into the spotlight, dropping the balls he juggles. It's silent enough to hear them hit the floor. It ends when the headstrong strong woman lifts a very large barbell over her head. She repeats this several times when the crowd's reaction is enthusiastic as she'd have liked. The show ends with a smattering of reluctant applause. To the amusements. And again. Most of the stalls here are empty, their owners either asleep or long since gone. You gamely make the most of them. From the Hall of Mirror, there is only one, to the Whack-A-Rat game, currently closed due to the rats having unionized.
Oh man!
Those pesky rat unions.
Just give them the helmets that they want. Come on.
They can have helmets as long as they have a comical emblem on top, or perhaps something that wiggles.
We're not downgrading to a wiffle bat. That bat stays solid.
No, yes, no. Solid bronze wood, or nothing.
Oof.
Thwack. At least the day proves quiet, with nothing actively trying to kill you. In the high wilderness, that alone counts as a vacation.
Hell yeah.
Ah, the ringmaster has quests. The work is beneath me, but not my crew.
I mean, if they're putting springs on top of their helmets, that's added. That's actually dangerous. Because it's gonna bounce back and bean you in the face.
That's it. Without an act and with little time to prepare, the crew puts on an impromptu talent show. The quartermaster proves an unexpectedly good opera singer, while the engineer's boy proves as capable of juggling as sneaking a little extra food from the supplies. Afterwards, the ringmaster claps you on the shoulder. Excellent. Well, terrible. Never do that again. But please, come and see me behind the tents. That gets me 5 sky stories, though.
Heck yeah.
Hats, cats, bats, and rats. The ringmaster is sat on a fat cushion, idly shuffling a worn pack of playing cards. He smiles wearily at you. I ask the cards about you. He draws from the top of the deck and sets them on the table. They say you can help. He then places them back in the deck and bids you shuffle and draw for yourself. The cards are the same. He smiles the same weary smile. Looks like they haven't changed their minds. Magician's Props is pretty easy. Need to go to Port Avon. That can be arranged. Do they sell fuel here? No, just supplies. That's not a terrible thing. Yeah, he's found something to the north.
Bye, Pommy and Plenty's Circus.
Bye-bye. Ooh, settlers who live so far beyond the edge of civilization relish the hardships of solitude. Now we've read this one. What's in? Here is an abandoned homestead. Its roof sagged, its windows empty of glass. For every settler that makes a life for themselves in the Reach, another is lost. 2 supplies. Bottles of homemade wine in the cellar, pots of meat pickling under the soil by the doorstep, and salvageable tools in an overgrown shed. Modest treasures could mean the difference between life and death if your fortunes turn. No, no, bad tackety scout, do not hit me. Let's see. Magdalen's is quite a far bit away. Probably have a better chance of reaching Port Prosper. They do have fuel there.
Yeah, it wouldn't do to get to Magdalene's, get less crazy, and then just maroon ourselves.
Oh, I found a thing. Ah, shame I don't have any mining tools. I could mine this rock.
How much is a mining rig?
I think it's about 1,000 or 500.
That's pretty reasonable.
More brandy for the crew. A marauder.
Time for the honorable third party to step in.
Unusual cargo, please. A clasped jewelry. Ah, just a jewellery box. 15 sovereigns. Hardly even worth the effort of killing him.
The Tackety Scout's probably counting his lucky stars right now, though.
He's like, thank God that random man turned up. I'd buy him a handle of whiskey. I probably wouldn't even water it down halfway.
A whole handle. Non-diluted. That's respect.
Exactly. Ooh. You gentlemen fighting it out? I can tell you who's gonna win. It's not gonna be you, little man. Yes, yes, more wine. Very good. That railgun is slapping that boy around. Actually, don't think I can go round this way.
No, it cuts off, goes straight to the end. Oh, come on now. Although it won't be burning fuel, right?
Yeah. That will lose fuel. Two supplies. That's not terrible. It did gain some terror, though. When the engine dies, the pipes in the boiler fall silent. As they cool, your locomotive yields the sky's pitiless cold. The breath of your crew mists in the air. When the repairs are finally completed, you begin the laborious process of restarting the engine and getting the boiler back up to temperature. It is 3 bitter days before you're underway again. That wasn't great, but it could have been far worse.
Getting all those extra supplies really paid off, worked out nicely.
Pardon me, gentlemen, just gonna walk through here. Y'all have a nice day now.
Alright, we're there, Prosper. I'm gonna hit the bathroom real quick.
No worries. We'll buy an extra seeds, I think. Indeed, so much can go wrong with that. Supplies are a necessity indeed. We shall write a port report. Shall mingle. You are treated as a curiosity and viewed from all sides with suspicion. Still, you find yourself in conversation with an elderly colonel who has retired to Port Prosper. A bulwark of sanity, he calls it. A line in the sand against the stuff out there. He introduces you to one of the riders in the procession who takes you on a tour of the carnival. You converse with the chestnut seller and flower arrangers, drink in the outdoor pubs, and dance with several of the vaudeville players. At the end of the day, you've learnt many names and faces, and even acquired a few calling cards. I am tolerated by each. The Admiral Nelson in Port Prosper's most exclusive tea-house. West Enders congregate here to sit amongst the many little tables of ornamental shepherds and bulldogs, and drink tea from little saucers with Her Renewed Majesty's face on them. The Admiral Nelson is so exclusive, in fact, that it opens only occasionally, and never does anything so crass as advertise. People know by word of mouth, initially at least. Afterwards, most Prosperans join the queue. Shall learn polite society. You make yourself as unobtrusive as possible behind a complicated flower arrangement. A vice reign and duchess are engaged in most unbecoming of war of words as they jab their butter knives into a shared meringue. A young diplomat is apparently thinking of a fresh start for himself in Albion, having quite ruined himself with dissolution in the unknown frontier. A skyfarer, long thought dead, has returned to general disappointment. The
Oh,
stories
he
about life
lives.
in the
Shit.
yes, the stories about life in the Reach are very much not the thing. I need more time. I could. The Winwood Company has thrown open its doors for a celebration of itself. Maps of tamed, industrialized reach line the walls. A model of an upcoming dreadnought sparkles in a glass case. Outside, children are encouraged to throw rotten fruit at a cardboard effigy of Tackety Jack, with Winwood stamped prizes for the best aim. Congrats on making it home, Maze. Lose a little bit of terror. Very good.
My skin.
How many Sky Stories do I have? I have 7. What settlers would you like to take? Where would you all like to go? Taken to Titania. Very good. It's a lovely place. Bring a book. There's a library there now. Alright. I must shuffle off to the relay so I can pick up whatever this package is. The board customs official is glad to clear some space in their cramped office. As long as you don't want to travel between regions with the appropriate paperwork, they couldn't care much less about cargo. This package has been serving double duty as a card table for the last week, but now it's yours, and the people of Leadbeater and Stainrod's Nature Reserve will be glad to receive it. Well, I'm not really here for anything. I have nothing to declare. No, I would like to remain in the Reach. Now, we should be able to make Magdalens. And finally sell these damn seeds.
Is that what we're doing? Selling them? I thought somebody wanted them.
Magdalens does.
Mm.
But they pay for them, so same thing.
Oh, beautiful. You can show up with less than what they want and still take it and add to the total, right?
Yes, correct.
I thought for a second there you weren't gonna have any foxes, you were just gonna ram him.
Dang it.
Oh yeah, the jukes.
Got the jukes. I'm full, so I'm just going to take the experience. Your crew lean from the outer hatches with boat hooks and nets, swiping the fluttering pages like a class of frenzied lepidopterists. You soon have accumulated a small palm and a pile of parchment, dense with pictographic script. You carry it to your cabin. What secrets might it hold? This is the right way. Yes, generally. Cantankerite can be in this area as well. Ooh. A pussy globule.
Oh, gross, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
Let's try, little boy.
Dang it. For now you order him confined to quarters, as much for his own safety as for punishment. You'll leave him at the next station. His remaining friends are sullen. Most of the crew are glad to be rid of him. Sir! You can
How
die as well.
dare you?
I'll take some money. Ooh, that's a big one.
Holy shit!
You fool, all you've done is spun me around for perfect firing range. More money. Now to finish this thing off.
Oh god, it's gross.
It seems to be a bit agitated for some reason. I wonder why.
I'm sure it's not the high caliber fire.
Bombarding things with ship-based weapons is bad? No.
Oh, I heartily disagree with that.
Precious stones, please. What have we got? 75 sovereigns. Nothing to sneeze at.
Oh, that's a good run. The terror sucks though.
Yes. I'll strip that for repairs. And run away.
Oh.
That's going up alarmingly fast. Got some supplies.
We in a terror area?
Sorry?
Is the snow spooky or what?
There was a island that was full of dead people, so it was spooky.
Oh. Okay.
So we avoided that, and now we're running to Magdalene's to reduce this terror a touch. And then I think we're going to return to New Winchester, deliver some bacon papers, and call it a day.
Now you've been rocking for just about 3 hours now.
Keep going, only forward. I'll take one terror, that's fine.
Boom.
Let's see here. Yes, I would like a treatment for ennui, please. Ah, reduced. How many savage secrets do I have? Only one. But I have plenty of visions of the heavens, so I'll drop another one. There we go.
Much better. Oh, you still had 3.
I actually bought one at Port Prosper.
Ah, I see.
Oh, look, and now they're selling verdant seeds. Of course they are. I will buy them so I can take them back.
Hell of a racket you got going here.
How much? 50 sovereigns. Sure. There we go. Now we're pretty much without terror. We shall write a port report. See if the amenable host has a quest for me. The amenable host has an attendant open a fresh bottle of sparkling wine for you both. He tells you of movements in the Winchester War, of old longings quelled, of old enemies reignited, of the arrest of the passage of time. To the human heart, memory is stronger than all Her Majesty's hours. Conversation. He speaks of. Yep. Parties he's hosted, lives he's healed, and the people he's saved. You begin to suspect he might have an ego. And then your time is up. I hope I haven't bored you, he says with a rare smile. One wishes to be many things in this life, but never dull. Oh well, no quest from him yet. That's fine. Back to New Winchester.
Man, you know what? I'm so out of sorts, I forgot we haven't even done a poll or nothing today.
I have done a poll. There is one running currently.
Oh, there is? Ooh.
Yes. Well, there's one that ran and is now waiting to be claimed, whether or not I make it. However, there's this jerk here who seems to want to tumble. Money. Jewelry box. Ooh, salon stewed gossip. Scandalous.
I tried coming up with something super salacious to say for it, but I don't think it's in good taste to say Her Majesty used to be a stripper. That's really all I had.
Haha. Your rounds ring off the house's iron skin and find gaps between its makeshift plates. Eventually, someone waves a white bedsheet from the window and throws out a satchel that clinks with jewelry and silver. 77
Nice.
sovereigns.
That's pretty darn good. And supplies.
Yes, not bad at all. That's what you get for firing at me, sir.
Although I do appreciate your iron house. There's nothing wrong with an armored house.
Indeed, I would pay extra for an armored house. Sadly, mine is only armored with brick.
That's not bad, though.
Brick is quite sturdy.
Yeah, you could full speed ram a Dodge Charger into Zinthar's house. Zinthar's house would win.
One of the new Dodge Chargers?
No, I'm talking about like classic steel.
Oh, yes, very good.
I don't like the new Chargers.
They ain't great.
I do. I appreciate four doors for more whores, but It's it's not what they were supposed to be.
Yeah,
But then again, like, kind of a hypocrite. I do drive a Dart.
nice.
They're okay.
They're good.
It's a
I
jumped
rec-
up Neon.
yeah, I mean, they got the room you need for the things you want to do.
It's got a nice peppy little engine. I just wish the transmission was reliable.
Ah, that's a shame.
Yeah. I like it otherwise. It's a fun little drive.
Nice. I recently shelled out and got one of the brand new RAV4s.
Yeah, is it working out for you nice?
Ah, it's a lovely car. It has all the creature comforts I've never had in a car before because I don't tend to buy cars that are newer than the year 2000.
That's fair.
I like to work on vehicles, so when I went to something that has more computers than engine, I'm like, the fuck is that thing for?
Right? I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah. If I can't change my own fluids and do my own brake shoes and calipers and everything, I'm not in a happy day.
Hey, what up, Sassy?
Hey,
Yeah,
Sassy.
no, I prefer to do my own brakes.
It's just, I don't want to spend $300 so an apprentice can strip my bolts out. I can strip my own fucking bolts out. I don't need an apprentice to do it.
Right? That's my privilege, thank you.
I will do it. I don't need someone else to fail at it. Ah, dear. Like, if it was only ever going to be, proper mechanics working on my car, fair enough, I'd pay the $300, but it's never an actual mechanic, it's always the apprentice.
And then not even watched.
No, no, they are not. You there, indurate veteran, give me money. 900 sovereignties. That's very good.
Holy smokes. 4 bills.
But I think that's going to take us to the end of our stream for tonight. As we dock successfully with Winchester.
Felt good to be back in the saddle again.
Indeed. It was wonderful to hang out with everyone again. Do a quick repair so I don't forget about it next time. Because I do that a lot. And we'll quickly buy up some... no, we'll do that next time because that's always a problem. We'll just buy up some supplies and sell off all the stuff that we've gathered along the way. Oh, nice. Those sell for 40. I bought those for 25. That's quite a
Heck
profit.
yeah.
Takes us up to 4,654 sovereigns, which is within striking distance of a new house.
How much do you actually need for it?
We need 5,000 sovereigns.
That's not bad. Just about guessing it.
We could sell our engine and probably have enough, but that would be a terrible idea.
That would be silly.
Let's have a look at the engine yard. I think that our next upgrade is the Moloch class, which is 16,000, so a considerable whack of cash.
But look how pimp it look.
It is very good. It has a lot of slots for things as well. It has 3
Oh
bridge
yeah.
slots, which means we can fit a cannery and a mining accoutrement.
Beautiful.
Mm.
So it has about the same room as a king crab, eh?
Exactly. The king crab of the sky.
Yes.
It does lose an armor slot and an air weapon slot, but that's fine. We have other weapons that we can use. In fact, it gains 2 heavy weapon slots.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll work.
Yes. Can we fire missiles, or rockets rather?
Oh, rockets be sweet.
Mm.
Hit him with them MRMs.
One Hawacha, please. The eighth of Rangoon. All right, then, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out and spending some time with us. I know it had been a long time since I'd managed to stream, but we're back in the saddle now, and everything seems to be working perfectly for once, which is
Heck
a
yeah.
miracle.
I only had to be turned down, not
Yeah,
cranked up.
yeah. I mean, I didn't have to spend 20 minutes fiddling with settings. It was click button, go yes.
And it was beautiful.
Oh, yes. Who wins the prediction? That is a good question. We made it back this time. So, number ones, you get all the goob.
Hey.
Please use it to bully your favorite streamers. And if anyone, Bionic does play a lot of horror games. Use it to bully Bionic.
Yeah.
All right.
BB's good people. Go bother her.
Yes, indeed. Well, I'll see you all next time on Sunless Skies. Bye
Bye.
bye.